ברוכים הבאים למשחקים בבתים, פודקאסט השקעות נדל"ן לחבר'ה צעירים, אבל לא רק. כאן מדברים מיינדסט, יזמות, השקעות ומה שביניהם. והכי חשוב, איך גם אתם יכולים לעשות את זה. אני ofek.molekandoff, אנחנו כבר מתחילים.
אנחנו היום הולכים לעשות ראיון באנגלית. אנחנו נמצאים כאן היום עם רוברט שמין. רוברט, I'm going to introduce you. We are here on my episode. We are very thrilled to have you here. So, Robert, if you mind, please introduce yourself and we will start.
First of all, מה קורה, מה שלומך, תודה. Thank you for being here. קצת עברית, קצת אנגלית. And I'm Robert Shemin. I'm a New York Times best-selling author of my book in עברית. How do you say it?
איך זה שהאידיוט הזה עשיר ואני לא?
It sounds better in Hebrew. How come that idiot's rich and I'm not? I'm here in Israel speaking to my group of about 3,000 investors called Project X. And we teach them how to buy real estate in the United States, the system. Then they buy in all kinds of different countries. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm here to help people, to change people's lives. That's what I love doing. Yeah, so I love your T-shirt. The name of your group, 0 to 1, is...
Thank you.
That's the most important thing, get started. I tell people, you know, whatever you want to do. And most people, you know, won't start a business. They're scared. They talk about it. You know, it's not for everybody, whether it's real estate. They won't do it. And they're scared. And I tell people, like you say, teach, get started. All you have to do is your first customer, your first deal, whatever you want to do. And so many people like me are thinking about everything. What if this happens? What if that happens? My favorite is, what about taxes? I'm like, make the money first. Then you'll get an accountant and worry about the taxes. But they're scared to start because they're thinking about step 7, 8, 9, 10. Think about step 1, 0 to 1. What's the first thing I have to do?
I totally agree, and this is why we initiated this program, this 0 to 1. And the main purpose is to give young entrepreneurs value in the essence, in the area of starting. Just like you said in Project X, do the first deal, don't worry about the 10x of the business. Start with the first thing. So, having said that, I would like for you to share your 0 to 1, your starting of the business.
Well, it's pretty sad, actually. And I tell people in almost every speech I make that I had no idea to be in real estate. I didn't want to be in real estate. I was trying to sell insurance. I never sold any, I don't think. And I met this gentleman who was very wealthy. He had a lot of real estate, but he was very simple. And where I'm from in Nashville, Tennessee. And I thought to start a business, you have to have lots of money, smart. My parents taught me you need degrees and you have to be in a rich family, which I wasn't at the time. And I met this guy, no computer, no money, and he had over 100 real estate deals that he had done. That's what he told me.
That's Bobby, right?
No, I'm Bobby, Robert. His name was Ray Binion. And in 1 minute, everything in my mind changed. I tell people, you're one relationship, 1 minute away from a decision. Success to me is a decision, failure is a decision. And I'm like, wait a minute. If this guy can do this with no money, no big background that he started with, he didn't start with a rich family, maybe I could do it. And he charged money for mentorship. I borrowed it from some people. It was a lot of money for me. And I paid him, and he showed me exactly what to do. Step 1, step 2, step 3. He was doing it. He had a couple other students. And I spent 1 year watching him, learning from him. And I was questioning him. I can't do it. I don't have any money. I don't have any credit. This won't work. What if this happens? What if that happens? My mind was racing. And for at least the first year, guess what I did?
None.
Nothing. I was worried, fearful, scared, analyzing. So the two biggest problems for most people, including me, are fear of failure. What if I make a mistake? You're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes every day, every week. But hopefully they're not fatal. Some are not great, some are good. You're going to make mistakes, get over it. Number 2 is, I think, fear of success. But the third one is, who are you listening to? So I was listening to myself. I had no background, no experience in real estate. I'm listening to all my thoughts, making up. It can't work, I'll fail, the market's bad, the government's bad. And worse than that, I'm listening to all my friends and family who had never done entrepreneurship, who said, don't do it, you're going to fail, you'll be an embarrassment to the family, get a job, be safe, don't risk money, you're going to lose, it'll be a disaster. And that's who I was listening. So I asked people, who are you listening to? It's called noise in our head. And finally, after 1 year, things got worse for me. I was more broke, more stressed, more in debt, and I made a decision.
I heard you say it, who to listen in one of your lectures or in one of your books. You said there are 3 types of people, A, B, and C. A is the kind of people that you should listen to, that they've reached already that you want to be, so they're speaking out of success experience. Second type is B, which they are people that they're very dangerous because they tried, they failed, and now they tell you that you will fail and that this is a bad area. And C, this is the worst. They did nothing in this area, and they tell you it's shit,
Right.
and that it's not good.
Right. I heard on the news it's bad. I watched a video. You had a great memory. I forgot I wrote that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was married and divorced 5 times, and he told me relationships are bad. They're bad for him.
Bad for him.
Right? So the question is, who are you listening to? Most people listen to themselves. Well, that won't work. I don't believe it. Well, where does that idea come from? It's coming from your own head. So literally, I can tell you the day, I think it was July 17th, 18th. I'm sitting there going, I'm making no money, I'm making no offers, I'm doing no activity, I'm just thinking, worrying all the time, analyzing. And I said, maybe I should just follow the system that the other successful people did.
This was while you were in the process with your mentor?
Yeah, over like a year. I've spent money, I'm studying, I'm analyzing, I'm researching every day, I'm questioning. Can you imagine going to Tiger Woods or Shaquille O'Neal and say, wait a minute, I think I have a better way for you to play basketball or play golf. I was debating him. Oh, that won't work. I never did it. And I'm telling my mentor, I don't think real estate will work. I don't think I can find the money. Yes, you can if you want to. And literally one day I let go. The hardest thing for an entrepreneur to do.
Autopilot.
I said, maybe I should stop thinking, worrying, wondering, and just follow the system. And literally, I found a deal. Now everybody's different. You may not. I found a deal. I found a money partner, and I did my first deal. Now here's the funny part. I was so skeptical and negative when I closed my first deal, which by, thank God, chance, whatever effort, was a good deal. It was below market, it cash flowed. I had a money partner, and everybody does it differently. I did my first deal, and I even got more scared. I thought, I got lucky. It'll never happen again. Maybe I should quit, And I did a second deal, and I was still like, wait a minute. 2 in a row, that's too much. It can't be true.
My luck is going to run out.
After the third deal, I finally got more comfortable. So maybe you're 0 to 1, I should put 0 to 3 because you're still like new. And then think of your own business, whatever job you have, school, military, sports, business, you're in a job. I always ask people, are you better at it today than you were the first week? Of course. After a year, 2, 3, 4, you don't even think about it. You know how to do it, you know where it is, you know the computers. When you start a new business, real estate, entrepreneur, whatever it is, it's new.
On your Project X program, what do you reward more? The deal or the progress?
So we reward more the system and the progress of the process of doing the deal. So step 1, for instance, we make you set a goal. I want to make a 0. I want to make $10,000. I want to get 2 deals, 3. It doesn't matter. Whatever your goal is. I don't want to do anything. That's what most people decide. That's not a good goal. Number 2, okay, let's start you build a team. Let's focus in on a micro market. So each week you're making progress. You're doing. You have the mentor holding your hand to make sure you don't make a big mistake. Then you make a contact. You start making calls, then you make a contract, which there's still no risk because you can analyze the property in most cases if you do it correctly.
And you can back out.
You can back out in most cases. There's always exceptions. And then you get maybe your money, a money partner, a loan. There's all kinds of ways to do the deal. And then you close. But wait a minute. Once you buy the property, then your work starts. Then you either have to fix it and rent it or sell it. So we reward the process, the progress, the system. It's like a sport. Here's the football, here's the basketball. Step 1, step 2, dribble. Step 3, shooting. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And also, we believe collaboration. So you could do it yourself. Maybe you're good at finding deals. Maybe he's good at finding the money. Maybe I'm good at managing. We don't have to, but if we work together, a relationship, will have maybe more success if you want.
What I was saying is that sometimes business it's very like sports, because somebody can work in the shadows for 1, 2, 3 years, and all of a sudden he has a great business, and from outside surroundings it would look like he's an overnight success, but the truth to be told is that he worked and nobody saw. Like in the Olympics, that somebody trains for 3 years and then he does a sprint for 100 meters, and this is what he's getting rewarded.
But what they don't realize, you said 3 years, they're usually training for 15 or 20. They started when they're 8 or 12 or 15.
This is why business is better. You can work for 3 years.
But, you know, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but in almost every speech I make, and, you know, people hear what they want to hear. I say, listen, when I met my mentor, he said, I won't work with anybody who doesn't make a 5-year commitment. Now, most of us, including me, are part-time. We have other jobs. You know, we're not full-time real estate. And I say that in every speech. And most people say, well, I want to make a big check in 6 weeks or a month. And we say, no, it takes time. You know, think about your own job. Most kids, when I went to high school, then you go to university for 3, 4, 5 years, then you get a job, and you still don't know what you're doing until maybe a year or two into the job. Apprenticeship, internship.
It takes time.
Yeah, you know, in the military, which most people in Israel have experience, they don't just give you a gun and say, go. You go to training. Very hard, very difficult, right?
Yes.
And you train and you prepare. My cousins are very famous surgeons. They were in school for 12 years, 4 years of university, 5 years of medical school, 3 years of practicing, whatever, and then they're doctors.
And in business, sometimes people want to start and getting money and getting a great, successful business after half a year, and it doesn't work like this. You have to get education.
It's expectations. We tell our students, listen, you know, there are students that have done deals quickly. Some go slow, some don't do any. Everybody's different. Every deal's different.
Doesn't mean it's a good deal.
Right. But, you know, it's going to take time. We're in it for the long term. And if you're in it for 6 months or 1 year or 3 months, you're probably not for us. Again, my mentor said 5 years, and it was funny. The first year I did nothing. Everybody's different. Number 2, second year I did a few deals. Third year I did some more. And the third, fourth, fifth year, it got much easier. People started calling me. I knew what I was doing. And now I don't even think about it. Like driving a car.
If I would have asked you, when was your quantum jump? When was your peak?
I feel like it's not here yet. I feel like I'm just starting over. Every day's a new day. Every week's a new week.
Yeah.
Literally, I've been doing real estate off and on, a business since 1994, I believe. I'm not so good at time sometimes. And I've had ups, I've had downs, I've made every mistake possible. I have a book called 75 Mistakes. I've made them all.
But it's very, very obscure, because you have books that are bestsellers. You have hotels, you have lots of real estate that you're doing. You've been doing it successful for a long time, and you are still think that you're not at your peak.
No way. I'm excited today. I just decided to write 2 new books. A second part of the success book and another book about, I believe, multiverse, digital real estate. And it's new, it's exciting. I don't remember what I wrote before. I can't remember, I mean, I kind of remember it, but I have today. So I'm looking forward to now. I'm working on a new big deal right now. Whether it closes or not, it'll be great. I'm enjoying the process, but I'm excited now, and I feel like I'm just getting started.
You're being political on men. We are Israelis. We are speaking direct.
Yeah.
When did you feel that it was your first peak as the normal person, as the common person?
I'll answer the question. I'll be like, not be like a politician.
Yeah.
So let me answer the question right. Well, it's funny with the books. It's a moment in life when you feel successful. It's not like all the time. You don't wake up, I'm successful, I feel great. With my book, I saw my book in an airport. I was walking the airport and I saw my book. I felt like, wow, my book's in an airport? That's amazing.
That was a milestone that you felt something is happening.
With my books. With the real estate, what really happened is, and this is kind of funny, I went to my father, I think it was the second or third year I was in real estate, and along with my money partners, I had over $1 million of debt, of mortgages, right? You know, so my debt was like 50, 60, 70% of what the houses were worth. And I went to my father, and I wasn't the smartest, And I felt very successful. And I said, we all want to impress our dads. I said, Dad, I'm a millionaire. He goes, what do you mean you're a millionaire? I said, I have $1 million of debt, of mortgages. And he goes, dummy. My dad was very talkless. He goes, you don't have $1 million, you have $1 million of debt that you owe. And I'm like, yeah, but I have more than $1 million of real estate. He goes, yeah, but you owe the banks and your money partners, $1 million. Yes. And I go, oh. For one minute, I felt very successful that someone was willing to give me $1 million of debt. I thought I was worth $1 million. Now, obviously, the real estate was worth more than $1 million. The equity. But I wasn't a millionaire yet. But I was so excited that somebody had lent me $1 million on different houses. So, and then, one day I woke up. My goal when I started was to get one house a year for 15 years. I was so scared. And I think the second or third year, I can't remember exactly, going off memory, I had like 40 properties. And I looked at the balance sheet. I went to the bank or the accountant. And I'm like, how did this happen? I wanted 15 and now I got 40. It's like you wanted one kid and all of a sudden you got 12 kids in your house. And I'm going, this is amazing. And the money's coming in.
Did you do a refinance?
Yeah, I used to do that all we didn't have BRRRR back then. We just bought property, fixed them, rented them, and sold them. And then 3 to 5 years later, we either refinanced. So we didn't know what it was. We didn't make up all these names, but I did it, and it was just amazing. But the most amazing thing that I felt was the freedom, because forget about the money or the real estate. There are times in my life, even now, where I can travel, I can do what I want, and I was so used to having a boss. A teacher tell me, you have to do this, you have to be here today, you have to come at 8 o'clock, you have to leave at 7 o'clock, you have to work more. And I'm like, no one's telling me what to do. That to me, for everybody's different, that to me is worth $1 million a day. That I could wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I could go to Spain.
When did you quit the job?
So it was interesting. I was working at a restaurant and an insurance company. I never sold the insurance. It was a horrible job. I hated it, but that's how I met my mentor. So that was the best job. You got to really think like this, because it changed my life. If I never would have done the insurance selling, which I was horrible at and never made any money, I wouldn't have met my mentor who showed me how to do real estate. So, one thing leads to another. Be patient. And the first year I did nothing. I made nothing in real estate. Everybody's different. Second year, I got 11 or 12 properties. And I was making more from the real estate rental than I was from my regular jobs. So I couldn't afford to go to work anymore. I was working 40, 50, 60 hours a week plus to make less than I was making in real estate. So one day I woke up and said, maybe I shouldn't do the other job, I should do more real estate.
It's more beneficial, more value for money and time.
Yeah, and I always tell people, even here in Israel, a lot of people say, I don't want to do real estate. I can't do real estate, it's too hard. I say, wait a minute, have you ever bought a house? Everybody's different. And some people say, yeah, I bought a house in Herzliya Pituach, in Farsaba, and
But it doesn't cash flow in Israel.
But wait a minute, they bought it 10 years ago for 300,000 shekels or whatever, is a bad example, and now it's worth 1 million shekels. I'm like, wait a minute, you just made a lot of shekels or dollars on one house that you bought by accident. You didn't buy it as an investor. Yeah. Or your babushka did, or your mother did, or your father did. Think about anybody who bought property in Tel Aviv or Yerushalayim 10, 20 years ago, right? And that doesn't happen all the time, of course, but it happens in America. And I'm like, wait a minute, by accident, you made almost what you make at work or close, for everybody's different, just as an example.
In 1 or 2 years.
In a couple of years. Why not do more of that and less of the working? Now, it's not for everybody. Not everyone's going to do it. Not every deal works out that way. There's bad deals too. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm making more off one real estate deal sometimes, and everybody's different, than I did working a year at a regular job. And you know that too.
Yeah.
You said, I haven't verified it, that you're going to make about $40,000, which is almost 150,000 shekels, give or take a few shekels, off one property.
And we're doing 5 that are in mid-renovation right now. That's when I understood that real estate is much more beneficial, in my perspective, but we're not speaking only about real estate. There are a lot of other entrepreneurship realms and subjects that are very beneficial. You have e-commerce, you have drop shipping, you have commodities.
Yeah. By the way, over the years I've been involved in content, education, trading. I tried Amazon, online courses. To me, there's so many opportunities now.
Exactly.
I mean, that cell phone you have, you're connected to the entire world. And here's the other thing. You know, I've been virtual for 25 years. Now everyone's talking about being virtual, digital nomad, live wherever you want, correct? We have thousands of people moving to Colombia. They're online sales, direct sales, consulting. I think there's too many opportunities now. That's the other problem, is you have to focus.
To be consistent and to focus and not to look aside, I think this is what I speak as a young person. This is what's been one of the biggest challenges in my path, is to stick into one thing and to commit to it.
Yeah. So I have 3 things for success. Focus, 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 focus. That's 4 things. And every day, that's my challenge. You know, wow, I just saw a video about trading or tax sales or online or novations or virtual or altcoins or bitcoins or crypto coins. And we're like, woo, like a drunk. And I tell people, could you imagine going to university and the professor says, what do you want to study? I want to study medicine, law, architecture, accounting, crypto, and entrepreneurship.
And law.
And law. And something else. What would the professor, the guy, this counselor say? You're crazy.
Lunatic, yeah.
Yeah. Do one thing and do it really well. If you like it, keep doing it. If you don't, do something else. But please don't try to start 5 businesses at once.
What would you have said to all the young people out there that are feeling the FOMO, the fear of missing out, while they are conducting something already?
Fear of missing out, the FOMO. I love that. I have that every day.
You have it also?
No, I have it every day. I'm convinced if I was in high school right now, I'd be on massive drugs. Most entrepreneurs like me are attention deficit disorder, but it's not that we get distracted. It's just we get bored, right? Fear of missing out. And I tell people, same thing. You have to focus. Pick one thing and become an expert, a master at it. And then once you master it, then decide, I'm going to keep doing it or not. But you can't every week, every 2 weeks, try something else.
Well, once you systemize it, then you can still keep it and do another thing.
Right. And the other thing too is we teach system and team. System is the most important. What's your system for online, for customer, business, real estate? And then team. If you have a bad team, you got a bad business. So a lot of entrepreneurs like me, it's called the founders syndrome. We want to do everything ourselves. What we teach people, you don't have to, it's not for everybody, is build a team. So I first built a real estate team in Nashville, Tennessee, where I'm from. Then it got very competitive. Still, there's deals everywhere. Then I built a team in Memphis, and then one in Atlanta, then one in Las Vegas, correct? And the team was better than me. So right now I have teams, and yeah, you have to work, you have to watch things. Things are up and down all the time. But like I have an amazing team here in Israel, and they're better than me, and I don't have to work so much. They're amazing, and it's fun to work together and collaborate. But again, you got to focus. And I think right now, whatever it is, the entrepreneurs have a big problem. I do too. I get on the internet and I see this marketing. Press a button, buy this course for $30 and make $1,000 a day. We'll send you a check, and it looks great. But then all of a sudden, I'm not working on my business. And I like to 0 to 1. I tell people, whatever business you're in, start it. Get your first customer. Get your first sale. Then after that, focus on your second customer, your second sale, whether it's a deal, a customer, a business.
So I want to ask you, what would you have say to young entrepreneurs in these days? Not that I'm thinking that it's too much different from past time, because each time had their own differences. Now we have the phones and the digital, and then they did not have it. These days you can do stuff that when you were 99 you could not do.
No. I remember dial-up internet, fax machines. My son's 30 and I showed him a regular phone. He's like, what's this? He didn't even know what it was.
You can close on deals from different countries.
Yeah. And then, first of all, number one, here's the good news and the bad news. It's Israel, so let's give the bad news first. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Disaster. I think the biggest problem for me and all young entrepreneurs, I'm a young entrepreneur, 61 years old, is, Alcoholics Anonymous, Drug Anonymous, where they drink too much, too many drugs. I think we're all over-opportunitied. I want to start a new group called Entrepreneurs Anonymous. My name is Robert. I can't stop starting new businesses. Because there's too many opportunities. With that phone, I can have customers in China, India, US. I can live in Colombia, which I do. I can live in Tel Aviv. You're the international market. Now I can translate with artificial intelligence. I can press a button and start a book in 10 minutes or finish a book. It's amazing. That's the problem. Too much opportunity. That's the bad news. Every day you're going to be pulled this way and that way. Crypto, real estate. So number 2, what are you good at? What are your strengths? What do you love to do? And focus on that. And what you're not good at, you can also all build a team. Number 2, get started. Stop thinking. Stop analyzing. Don't do what I did. I spent a year. Well, should I do this? Should I do that? This is better. Maybe that's easier. My friend said do this. And I never did anything. Focus on the activity. Focus not on the idea or the problems. Focus on solutions and the action. What can I do today to start a business? Listen, I help people write books and speak. Everybody wants to write a book and everybody wants to speak, a lot of people. And they say, I've been thinking 2 years how to write a book. I've been on the internet. I took 7 courses, 20 courses. I'm like, that's great. I said, get some paper out or your computer and write 1 page today. If you're going to start another business, you only have a few hours. What is the most efficient way for me to start? Find a customer, find the money, make a business plan. Take 1 hour today and start. Stop thinking, stop looking, stop analyzing, and get started. The most successful people do what's called MA, massive action. Yesterday, I probably called 50 people for my business. Not 1, not 5, not 10. I didn't get a hold of everybody, everything's perfect, but that's what I do. And the most successful people, they may know a lot less than me or you. They may not understand everything, but they do it. Like Nike says, just do it.
Do you know what's arsim?
Arsim? Maza?
Arsim.
Arsim, no.
There are some kind of a nickname for people in Israel that are like New York, that you have...
Falsanim. Arsanim.
Arsim. It's like there's people from the hood that are that you see that they are not educated, that they don't know high level language. However, they drive the BMW and the Mercedes, and you ask yourself, whoa, how? It's because, in my perspective, they are not overthinking. They stick to one thing, they do it, and they have chutzpah.
Yep. And my mentor would always say, he was a very simple but very wise man. He always said, Robert, stop confusing me. I would go to a seminar and say, hey, I learned about wholesaling, and I learned about tax sales, and I learned about this new computer program. He's like, Bobby, stop it. You're confusing me. This is what I do. Warren Buffett, this is what he does. But he's an expert.
And it's very simple to everyone else.
Yes. And the very successful people, and I've met a lot of them, like CEOs of big firms, they keep it very simple. When I was starting out, I complicated, overthought everything. And it was complicated. And some things are complicated. But I always tell people, my mentor told me this, whatever you think you're right. I'm a guy, I want to be right. If you think it's hard, it's hard. If you think it's complicated, it's complicated. If you think it's easy, it's easy. I met the chairman of Goldman Sachs once, John Weinberg. It's one of the biggest, most successful companies, stock market, trading, computers. And he said, Robert, our business is very simple. The Shook, flea market, because we're a flea market for stock. We have a Muhammad at the Shook sells, I have an apple. You offer me 3 shekels, I want 5 shekels, I sold it to you for 4 shekels. We have a stock, we want $3, you offer $2, we sell it for $2.50. We're just a flea market. I went, oh, okay, simple. Steve Jobs, we're going to change the way people use computers. That was it. Walmart, I met Sam Walton, one of the richest families in the world still. My dad worked with him. He said, we took very dirty, unprofessional stores and we make them clean, nice, and give the customer a good value. That's it. Make things so simple.
In your perspective, how do you accommodate success?
Well, that's a very good question. How do you get along with success?
Yeah.
So first of all, most successful people don't think they're successful because we're like you and everybody. We're like, what do I have to do today? What's the challenge today? Whatever level you're at, there's a new challenge. So this.
How do I progress? What's the next step?
So here's two things. Number one, I thought whenever I get a certain amount of money or a certain level of success, that everything will be perfect. Right? It's not true.
They never disappear, the challenges.
They change. They get different, bigger, better. Think about the prime minister, no politics, of Bibi or Trump or whatever. Every day they have so many new problems, so many new challenges you would never think of. Number two is whatever level you're at, I think we're here to go to the next level. The challenge. We need to learn, to grow. So what's the next plan? So I'm always, and I learned this from Bill Gates, is I take a 3-day, just did it, working vacation. I go away for 2 or 3 days, whether it's a mastermind or by yourself or with a mentor, friend, rabbi, smart person, and say, where do I want to go? I'm here, wherever you are, 0, 10, 100, a million, 10 million. Where do I want to go? What's my next goal? And it will change all the time.
Getting out of the straw perspective, getting out of the funnel perspective. It's something that we are all in a race. You know, some people are out of the right race, which is the money race, but as humans, we are always obligated. It's the human nature to progress, to go to a different...
Amen, amen, amen. And I think what, and everybody's different. I mean, maybe somebody wants to sit on the beach, which is perfect. I don't judge anybody, but...
Pura vida.
Huh? Yep.
Pura vida, you know, like in Colombia.
Pura vida, pure life. But I like that. I've retired 3 times. But now I judge a lot of what I do is A, how many people can I help? And B, I like to do a tzedakah, charity. So I'm always thinking about how much time or money can I or get my group, you know, because if you don't have money, you can get people's time. And right now we're playing this massive campaign for the next 6 months to give lots of time and money and help to different charities, tzedakah, even here in Israel. And that gets me more excited. And I think everybody's different. When you're of service, I'm surely not perfect, but you feel better, correct? And I always ask people, what's the thing you did that made you feel the best? You know, makes you feel good. Today, last week, last month.
Today when you wake up, what's the thing that fulfills you the most?
Or what's your best memory from last month or last year? And usually it doesn't have anything to do with money. I was with my family, I helped somebody, I mentored somebody, I helped a customer.
At your position right now, but I think money in the first phases of entrepreneurship is like oxygen.
Yes.
Like when the plane crashes, first of all, first thing you need to do is to get the oxygen to yourself, then you can help others.
Yeah.
This is why I think that money is one of the biggest essential, and a lot of people have bad perspective, bad image about money, that it's the source of evil and that you have to be a scammer in order to make lots of money. And it's a self-mental obstacle for a lot of people.
And again, all that noise, the first thing we talked about, where does it come from? It comes from your imagination. It's not fact, it's not reality. I was brought up, rich people are bad, they're evil, they're taking advantage. And I've met a lot of very rich people. There's good people, bad people everywhere, of course. Most of them are very nice, very simple, very giving, and I'm like, what? I thought you were supposed to be mean and a criminal and a crook. And also, unfortunately, the internet and media are great. There's a lot of great stuff on there. But in my opinion, 80%, maybe 90% is not true. It's horrible. You know, my first book came out. Even now, there's things on there that aren't true. They horrible, the worst. And you read, you go, oh, who's this person? Oh, that's me. That's like,
you know, when I was younger, I used to think that rich people, business people, they have to be like sharp like a knife. They have to be a bit cool. They have to have the killer instinct and no morals if it comes
killers, sharks.
Yeah, and when you grow up a bit and you see a bit more, you see that there's this businessman that is very good and has high morals, and there's this one that is not less successful or evaluated in less money, and is very nice.
Yeah.
Like yourself, you're one of the, I think the rich people that I've met that is the nicest guy that I've ever saw.
Well, thank you very much. It's funny, I meet a lot of very successful people all over the world, and most of them, not all, are very, very, very nice.
No, but you have to agree with me, and I give you a compliment, and you have to accept it that
Thank
your
you.
attitude is much rather different than most of guys out there.
Yeah. And also I've learned when I just wanted to make money, it was okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but it didn't really work. And the most successful I've met are on a mission. I want to change the way people think. I want to take care of the customer, take care of the client, change the way people rent property or use a computer. And I talked to an investment banker, and this is very important because a lot of people need to make money. They want to make money. And I tell people again, get your first customer, get revenue. I've just helped start a couple businesses as a consultant, mentor, whatever. And the first thing is, how do we get revenue? Everything else is a theory. Let's get revenue. So you need money. Without revenue, the business can't exist. But everything is a balance. And I once asked an investment banker in Europe, one of the largest investment bankers. He says we look at 100, maybe I don't remember going off, 100 deals a week, a month, from the best people and the big money and the big businesses. And he said, listen, people come to us with plans. We put money in, and they do well. But he said the people that do the best over the long term are ones that come to say, we want to change the way people work or do something. They're on a mission. It doesn't have to be a big mission. It could be a small mission. When I got started in real estate, my mission, I needed money. I had no money. I had to make money from the rents. I was very driven.
Did you have a mission from the first time?
Yes. I interviewed 100 landlords and 100 tenants in the low income. And they treated the tenants, most of them, horribly.
Slumlords.
They didn't fix anything. The tenants were upset. Nobody called them. And I said, I need to make money, but I'm going to treat my Section 8, my low-income tenants like customers. I'm going to respond to their repair calls. I'm going to check in with them once a month, like clients.
Respect them, yeah.
Take good care of them, make the place clean and safe and nice. And I want to be the best in this little neighborhood. I never thought I'd be big or have more than a couple of properties. And I'm going to really take care of this area and these people. That's it. And I did it. And all of a sudden, within a year, 2 or 3, people are calling me to sell me their properties because they heard I was a good investor, nice to work with. I had lines of people wanting to rent. They tell their mother, their sister, their brother, hey, he's a nice landlord, he's a nice manager, the company's good. And it's what it is. Now listen, the internet's here, the videos are here, the Zooms are here, but behind every camera, bank, deal, there's a person. It's a people business still.
To conclusion, I want to give you the audience to speak from your heart to all the young Israeli entrepreneurs out there that want to start, that want to scale, to give you the audience to speak whatever in your heart, your top 3 advices.
Okay, so I have to say this disclaimer. I went to law school. That I feel very silly, dumb, and stupid talking to Israelis about entrepreneurship, right? First of all, they're the most amazing people in the world. Most of them are very intelligent. It's the startup nation. They were in the military. They're very disciplined. They're very focused, talkless, correct? They're amazing negotiators. And listen, speaking from the heart, there's a lot going on right now in Israel. Yeah. Hey. God says, don't tell them, Robert. Shut up. Baruch Hashem, sorry. Anyway, we'll keep going. So I feel silly telling Israelis about this, but here's the deal. Some Israelis, there's a lot going on right now with the wars and all kinds of things. You got to be tough to be in Israel. I've lived in many countries. I'm here all the time. And all you have to do is take those skills you already have that you use in the sports and the military and studying, whatever you're doing, and apply some of it to business, you'll be successful. So number 1, don't say, I don't know how to start a business, or I'm scared, or I don't have the skills. Focus on what you've done. I went to school, I learned, I started a business, I have a job, I'm good with people, I was in the military, I'm responsible, I'm disciplined, I'm focused. I have a lot of skills to be business. People always say what they don't have. Number 2, whatever you don't have, find someone that has it. When my mentor told me that, I'm like, I have no money, I have no credit, I'm scared. He goes, find someone who's not scared who can call. Find someone who has the money, collaborate, make them a part of the business. And you don't have to always pay them money, take care of them. You can give them part of the profits,
Value.
part of the stock, like a startup. And number 3, we already said it. The biggest problem I think entrepreneurs had that I had is, who are you listening to? So I went to my mentor. He said, you can start this business. You're teaching me how to be entrepreneurs. They're excited. They're watching the podcast. Then they go home, and their mother or father or friend who never did a business says, it's too risky, don't do it, it won't work, the economy's bad, the government's bad, it's the worst time ever. Here's the secret. I've been hearing that every day since I started my business. I heard it 5 times yesterday from my friends, my family. It never stops. It's called noise. Who are you listening to? Listen, inflation's high, interest rates high, the government's bad, there's elections, interest rates, they just lowered them. It's the worst time to start. I've been hearing that every day, 2 to 10 times a day since I started. There's always an opportunity, always a deal, and do what you love. Now, number 4, give people more than they expect. You asked for 3, I'll give you 4.
Over delivery.
Over deliver. My mentor said something to me, the most important. He said, enjoy the process. The most fun part of being successful is starting. You think it's when you make the money or when you go public or when you make your goals. That's beautiful. But all entrepreneurs look back and say, I miss it when I started, when I was nervous and excited and scared. It was like energy. And the number 5 is change the word. I'm a big believer, Torah, Talmud, the power of the word. If you say you're scared, you're scared. Change the word, I'm excited. I'm energized. I'm passionate. The minute you change the word, everything changes. There's no problems, only solutions. Entrepreneurs, the number 1 trait they have, this is it. It's not that they had money or rich or whatever, is they say, what resources do I have? What skills do I have? And how can I make the best use of them? And how can I solve the problems, solve the challenges? That's it. That's all we do is solve challenges, right? Other people who never start don't solve anything.
This is great. So to sum up, I can write a book after speaking to Robert about all this wisdom coming out of his mouth. But 3 things that I took personally. First is to not being in the fear of missing out, to be consistent. The second that I think it's a great value is to stick for 5 years. Do whatever you do, but stick to 5 years and don't say I failed unless you've done it for at least 5 years. And the third thing is the optimism. I see you as a very big optimistic person, and that you don't believe in a parallel thinking and thinking about the bad, think about it's good. So I want to thank you very much for coming to speak at 0 to 1. We highly appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tov meod and toda rabah. And how do you say much success in Ivrit? Mazel tov.
I think it's the closest, yeah.
Mazel tov.
Yeah.
Mazel tov today, mazel tov tomorrow. And congratulations for being here, to opening your mind to learning. And I look forward to hearing about more success from you and all your followers.
You will be updated.
So as we say in Nashville, Tennessee, yalla, 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 y'all. Go, go, go. Vámonos.